I have both the Coleman 2-person Sundome Tent and the 2-person pop-up tent, so let's compare both these tents right now. To set up the Coleman 2-person pop-up tent, all you have to do is just take the tent out of the carry bag, remove the black strap, and toss the tent away from you while it pops up with the rainfly pre-attached. This takes just 15 seconds. Guying out and staking down the tent takes another 1 minute and 15 seconds for a total setup timing of just 1.5 minutes. The Sundome tent, on the other hand, has more of a conventional setup where you'd first have to insert the poles through the pole sleeves, prop the poles up, secure the poles into these pins, attach the pole clips, drape the rainfly, secure the rainfly, stake the tent down, and then guy it out. Altogether, it takes me around 5.5 minutes. The Coleman Pop Up tent also packs up really quickly by folding the tent until it looks like a taco and then folding the taco down. I'm able to pack it up in less than 2 minutes. As for the Sundome tent, I first have to take down the entire tent, then I fold the tent body, fold the rainfly, put the poles and stakes back before stuffing everything back into the carry bag. This takes about 5 minutes or so. The peak height in the 2-person pop-up tent is just 32.5 inches, and I wouldn't recommend using a mattress thicker than 4 inches inside this tent. On the other hand, the Sundome tent has a much higher peak height of 48.5 inches, and I could fit up to a 9-inch thick mattress inside the tent without feeling too squished. The base area of both tents is about the same, coming in at slightly over 30 square feet, but only the 2-person Sundome tent could fit an entire queen bed. Because the pop-up tent has an oval base, when I inflated my Exped Megamet Duo 10 inside this tent, which is the size of 2 regular pads put together, the corners of the pad were already touching the side of the tent. So when I tried to inflate a full-size mattress inside this tent, one side of the mattress couldn't be inflated. My 2-person Sundome tent came with 2 pockets inside the tent, 1 lantern loop at the top, and 1 e-port at the bottom of the tent. In contrast, the 2-person pop-up tent has only 1 pocket inside the tent, which has been split into 2, and there is no lantern loop and no e-port. When I put my Coleman pop-up tent through just 15 minutes of heavy rain, because the rainfly is just so small, the entire tent was completely soaked through. Not only did the door leak tons of water into the tent, the tape seam between the flooring and the tent body was also leaking. All the fabric in the tent had been soaked through, and even the underside of the rainfly was wet. As for the Sundome tent, the length of the rainfly is much longer and provided much more rain protection. The first drop of water only started seeping in through the untaped flooring seam after about 35 minutes. If you use a little seam sealant for this seam, the Sundome should be able to last at least a couple of hours under heavy rain, if not more. Also, the Sundome tent has a bathtub flooring extending up about 8 inches, while the Coleman pop-up tent doesn't have any bathtub feature. For rainy day ventilation, the Sundome tent has 2 large vents on 2 walls of the tent, plus a small ground vent. The pop-up tent, however, has no vents at all and thus no ventilation on rainy days. On a hot day with the rainfly taken off, the Sundome tent has 2 huge mesh walls, a window, and also a door for ventilation. The pop-up tent, however, has only some ceiling mesh plus a door, so slightly less ventilation. The 2-person Sundome and 2-person pop-up tents have about the same weight, coming in at 6.4 and 6.6 pounds respectively, but the pop-up tent has a much larger packed size. It's actually almost twice as big, and here's what it looks like beside the Sundome tent, plus a 32-ounce Nalgene bottle. Overall, I love how easily the pop-up tent springs open and also how easily it packs back into the carry bag without any huffing and puffing. No other Coleman tent sets up and packs up this easily, and this tent is perfect for backyard camping in fair weather. I highly recommend the 4-person pop-up tent instead though, because the 2-person is rather small. In fact, when I was trying to use a full-size mattress inside the 2-person pop-up tent, not only could I not inflate the mattress fully, it also ate up so much of my livable space. And this is only an 8-inch mattress. The 4-person pop-up tent gives me much more versatility. I can not only fit a queen bed inside the tent, I've also got 6 inches more headroom, so I can squeeze in slightly thicker air mattresses. However, just bear in mind that the pop-up tent isn't the most rugged, most weather-resistant Coleman tent on the market. It doesn't do well in rain, ventilation inside the tent isn't the best, and it's pretty bulky too. If you're expecting your tent to hold up over a longer period of time, or you're expecting many rainy days, you're better off with the Sundome Tent instead. It takes just 5 minutes to set up and pack up. Ventilation is pretty good, and it can do well in heavy rain if you add a little seam sealant. But before you buy anything, I highly recommend that you watch this video where I compare not just the Sundome Tent, but also the pop-up tent against more than 10 other Coleman tents. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.